da, 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 da. Okay, that's enough of that. That sounded less painful in my head. But yes, I'm Jack the Music Lover and it is Eurovision week. So, about me, the two things in the world I love more than anything, well, it's trains on the beach, but two other things I love very much. Music, why I made this channel, and where I'm from, on every level. So, apart from Portsmouth, if you don't know, it's a very mediocre city, but I love Hampshire, I love England, and I love my dear continent, Europe. I'm a very proud Englishman, I'm also a very proud European. And what happens when you put music and Europe together? Well, for 1 week in May, you get this incredibly weird, wacky, crazy, lunatic contest. And if you think of me loving Europe and music, you think I'd love Eurovision. I have a pretty big love-hate relationship with it. I love discovering all sorts of new music from a very wide range of countries and cultures, but I hate many aspects of it. You know, over political, over, to an extent, everything. Anyway, I have decided that I am going to review every show. I did a little bit of a semi-final marathon last night. Today's Friday, last night was Thursday. I finally got through semi-final 1 by heavily pressing the skip button on the iPlayer. Here in the UK, we've got the BBC and they've got the iPlayer, and on that you've got the 10-second skip button. So when a song was crap, or they were chatting about, this is how to vote, blah 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 blah, skip, 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 skip. And I even skipped when they were announcing it, because I already knew, because it already happened. I was just like, yep, I know the Netherlands qualified. Yep, I know that country qualified too. Yeah, I'm a bit impatient as well. But like, when I know what's going to happen, yeah, I'm impatient. Anyway, semi-final 1 started off with the runner-up who should have won back in 2018, proving she was the Greek Shakira all along. Eleni Foureira came out, wowed us all again like she did in 2018, doing that incredibly intricate dancing in heels this tall and this thin. Dressed like Shakira from the early 2000s. Then Eric Sade came out. Has he always not been able to sing? It was atrocious. He's so tone deaf. The thing is, could he sing back in 2011, or was it secretly a recording? Was it like an Ashley Simpson situation, but he didn't get caught out? Ooh. Anyway, yeah, he was gone. And then Chanel came back to once again give every middle-aged man across the continent a boner. And then finally, our hosts for the week. Sounds like we're staying at Pieter Mirja's Airbnb. I would love to do that. But anyway, she came out. The first thing Pieter Mirja mentioned, bold woman, was the whole situation about last year's Garia Gate, where everyone wanted him to win, but he didn't win. Loreen won instead, and now everyone hates Sweden, along with a few other countries. Straight out of the bat, she admitted she voted for Finland. Problem is, Pietra, you can't vote for Sweden. You're Swedish yourself. It wasn't an either or. We then moved on to song number 1. And for this, I'm going to re-jog my memory with all of it by just watching the little recap they do, and they're telling you to desperately vote for you. Okay, here we go. This is every other typical predictable lyrics, predictable dancing song you hear every other song on the radio. It's utterly dull and lifeless, and in my opinion did not deserve to qualify. It's fair enough, her dancers may be talented. It's just boring and done a million times before. Ugh. Yeah, I'm gonna skip. Yes, wave your flag. I like this song. I think it's really pretty. And also, I looked up what a Ramonda is. It's a type of flower that grows in the Balkans and is used as a national symbol for Serbia, because during the First World War, which if you know your European history, just before the First World War, the Northern Balkans, so most of Serbia, was part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire, and one of the military missions during the First World War was not just the Serbians, but all Balkanite Slavs fighting for an independent country for themselves, free of Austro-Hungarian rule. And for the Serbians, they used the Ramonda flower as a symbol for their army battalions whilst fighting for their independence. And so she said it's sort of like a patriotic song. I think it's really, really beautiful. And it may seem a bit pointless, but I really, really like The Rock. She may be no Constractor, but no one's ever going to beat Constractor, but this is one of my favourites for the semi-final. And that woman looks like Constractor on the left there. The Lithuanian one. This one's so bloody annoying. Yeah, we're going to skip that bit. It's so irritating. And this... Oh, I keep forgetting this one exists. The Satan spawn from Ireland. This makes me feel uncomfortable. And creepy. Also, just on a side note, going back to the title of this contest, I know the whole Euro bit, we're now letting the Caucasus in Australia, and Israel's been there since the 70s. But the next word, the song bit. This isn't a song. This is some theatrical performance. There is about 20 seconds of singing in it, but most of it is a theatrical performance of an exorcism. I think it should have been disqualified for the grounds it's not a proper song. And you'll have people saying, oh, it's so different and unique. No one's ever done something like this before. But there are so many things that haven't been done at Eurovision because it's a song contest and you're meant to send a song. Like, no one's ever gone to Eurovision rolling across the floor barking because it's not a song. Do this at Ireland's Got Talent, but for Eurovision, send a song. And I think this is an insult to, I think the Irish people voted to choose, well, whoever watched the show. But for a country that has such rich culture and a musical talent and history of dancing and singing and instruments, to then send something that doesn't include any of them, it's a real letdown to representing Irish culture. A culture that is so celebrated across the world, not because of emigration, but also because people of all different origins admire their culture so much. Let's skip it. Let's see, where is it? Okay, yeah, that's her and her evil possessed demons. Oh, yeah, I remember when I first watched the little clip here, I thought, this seems a bit generic. And then I watched the whole song and I fell in love with it. This song is awesome. I remember when I saw the first clip of Aliona rapping, I was just like, I was not expecting that. And usually I hate rap music, but I love it. And as I find Aliona so iconic here, just with her pink phone. Hello, it's me post-filming. Something I just remembered that I loved from the Ukrainian song was that the song was in Ukrainian and English, mostly in Ukrainian, but the way they weaved English words and phrases in, you could only just about tell. They were so like intermingled. I remember us listening to it, just little bits here and there. Like, wait, she said human being. Wait, she said mother. That bit was in English. It was so weird. You can only just about tell, and I'm a native English speaker. The way they crafted that is so clever. She's not even really doing anything. This one, it's a very generic song, but I do admit her creativity with the staging. They said that she's obsessed with chess, but doesn't know how to play it. Maybe she should learn. The people dressed up with crowns I found kind of weird and creepy, but I admit I like her creativity. However, it was quite a generic song. Nowhere near as generic as the Cypriot one. She should have qualified over Cyprus. I don't get this song at all. I don't like this song at all. And yet it's the favourite to win. They're saying it's either, I think, like this or Switzerland or maybe Ukraine. I don't get this song at all. Actually, no, I don't want to watch it. Where is that? Ah! It's Europe's wine mum. I think it was Rylan said that everyone's calling her the wine mum of Eurovision. And it fits. She's come with an incredibly generic song that would be played all day on BBC Radio 2. If you're British, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And that sparkly goldish pantsuit is the colour of cheap Australian white wine. So she's really, and she's like 50 something. She's a 50 something year old, probably middle to upper income woman singing some generic love song with a bit of a beat. Yeah. I mean, she could have been compared to a Karen, but no. Utterly dull, lifeless song, but I do like the middle-aged wine mum energy. We go from wine mum aesthetic to fetus. Let's see, does it? Yeah. See that skin, that it looks like she's just been born and she's still covered in like gelatin from the womb. I mean, yeah, she's got a very powerful voice, but okay, there is weird and wacky. This was quite scarring to watch. Because suddenly this guy in the let's see if we can get a bit of him. Oh no, he went away. He's obscuring himself with the flashy pyrotechnic firework shit. He is wearing jean shorts this short right now, but in the like 2.5 minutes before this clip, he was just in a beige thong. And the way they were filming it, they constantly had whatever they could bloody find to get in camera shot covering his crotch. Luckily in the audience they weren't scarred, but us at home watching, it was just this constant question of, is his dick really out? And considering how hairy his ass looked, because that kept on being on camera, which was horrifying, I imagine his dick was even more horrifying. I have a feeling this dude did a massive line of coke before jumping in that denim egg to come out to Eurovision. But I must admit, I do love the floating denim ghost, who's actually the guy singing the song. I don't think I love it, I just love his outfit, even though it is still kind of terrifying. And in this song, I remember Rylan also said that she represented Moldova almost 20 years ago. She came 10th with the song Fighter. I've only ever heard a short clip of that song, but it's quite a powerful song that really grabs your attention. And she said this time she's got to do better, but you're never going to do better with this. She's got a very powerful voice and she can play the violin, which is one of the hardest instruments to play. But let's just listen to some more of the generic lyrics. Yeah, talking about angels and sunshine and a work of art, and it's so generic. You're never gonna be that memorable if you're just like that. And you're never gonna make people think you're not generic just by having gigantic sculptures and a weird costume either. You're not going to the final. And this, I think it's a real shame this didn't make... I was so surprised when this didn't make it through. Fair enough, the culture on display has nothing to do with Europe. It's Australian Aboriginal culture. But it's a lively, upbeat song and a celebration of their culture. Although I don't know how this didgeridooist is wearing that. I don't know what to call it, an Aboriginal nappy? It must be giving him such a wedgie. That must hurt. And as for Zacharias, So in the middle there, you got, I think it's my right, it may be your right, Zachariah with the Aboriginal flag, and she's wearing what seems to be a massive amalgamation of offcuts of wallpaper and kitchen roll. And then Michael on the left, who seems to have skinned a ginormous lizard and put it on himself. And I imagine after he did that, he then came over to Zachariah with wallpaper paste, and she was just like, yeah, glue the bit down there. Yeah, no, wait till I got this bit over my shoulder. Yeah, now glue it. And then they go on stage. But about the song itself, it was so colourful and upbeat and joyous, and such a lovely chance to experience some, even though non-European culture, but something new and a new language, and probably make a lot of Europeans realise the diversity of Aboriginal languages across Australia. I think it's so sad that that didn't qualify, and bloody Satan Thug did. And so did this. And I just didn't make any sense of this. I mean, again, it's, yeah, she's talented, she can sing, but it's, and this is better than the incredibly generic Cypriot song, in my opinion, because she shows not only she can sing well, but can sing fast. But I still feel like it was quite generic, although it's lovely to see Luxembourg back in the contest after what felt like 100 years. Oh, we're watching a cruise advert now. In between all of these songs, we had performances from the 3 automatic qualifiers who were able to vote in this semi-final. Germany, my country, the United Kingdom, and host country, Sweden. But only Germany's was any good. It wasn't too memorable, but he was a talented singer. Sweden sent Norwegians. Peter Mede joked about it, this whole thing about like Marcus and Martinez from Norway instead of Sweden, about how there have been times when people born in other countries have represented another country, like seeing Celine Dion from Canada, and Loreen, who was apparently born in outer space. Never knew she was a Martian. Marcus and Martinez's song was, you thought the Cypriot one was generic. It is the most generic radio, not like radio friendly, but radio hungry song with predictable, overdramatic dancing, stupid, boy bandish lyrics. And they really tried to, it's like they weren't even trying to wow the crowd, they just wanted to mesmerise and suck them in with all the lights show thing, with all the fancy LEDs, blah 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 blah. And then my country's song was horrifying, utterly disgusting, and he used to produce some awesome music. When I was a teenager, I remember Desire, King, Aisha. They were amazing songs. And then he produced this horror show. The song itself is utterly predictable and boring, but then the staging of it, it was in this box that kept on spinning around, and it was made to look like a prison bathroom, which makes it look revolting. And then his dancers were like really aggressive and angry and violent and almost predatory. It was really uncomfortable to watch. I was, like most of those other songs, just violently hitting the skip button. And I come from a country that probably has the most celebrated musical history and music industry across the continent, maybe even pushing the world. I don't think I'm being biased in any way, but I may say my country has the best music in the world. Not just the continent, but the world. And yet this is why no one votes for us, apart from like Sam Ryder. She was actually good. We have so much brilliant music, and the world loves it too. We just don't send it to Eurovision, apart from once in a blue moon. But we always should. Rant about my country over. Once all the songs have been sung, oh, we actually sang some more songs. So Johnny Logan now has a queen, Loreen, and to commemorate this, they had Johnny Logan singing a orchestral version of Euphoria. It was amazing. It was mesmerising. It was so beautiful. And then he had it shat on by this famous Swedish singer called Benjamin Ingrosso, who sang it was meant to be 3 songs. They all seemed to blend into each other, but they were all so boring and lifeless, and the performance was so generic. Once again, I was just smashing the skip button. And then they announced who qualified, and then the semi-final one was over. See you tomorrow for semi-final 2!